This is David Mitchell here. Welcome to Fan to Train episode 153. And oh, hold on 1 minute. Hey Dimitri, we can't hear you, bud. It muted. Oh boy, here we go again. All right, this happened some, but yep, we're doing a collab tonight with Demetrius. All right.
Hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I can't stand Discord. What a piece of garbage. There we go. Alrighty.
All right. You doing good, bud?
Oh yeah, how about you, man?
Good. Oh boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun. So I got your stuff spliced in there. I got the rush hour power outage first. That's gonna be fun to talk about, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, the subway. Imagine being stuck on the New York subway of all places for hours.
Oh yeah, that for sure. To imagine that for that's crazy in itself. What do, man?
Thank you. Alright, hold on. Let me get some my slippers.
But crazy, ain't it?
Alright, now we're comfy. Yo. Okay. Nice. All aboard. Let's get this going.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And let's go to the Arc Street. There we go.
153.
Alrighty. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, it's coming up soon. Get ready for it. Live from Railroad City, Crossroads of America, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, yep.
Which I would say is the best Carolina, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Your host and founder of this wild ride, American Rail Club, Demetrius Villa, and joining in is David Mitchell.
The co-host.
Oh yeah, here we go. I hope you all can hear me. Hope you're all doing well. Wow, we're really, wow, this is pretty cool. I put in for the chat here for the super chats. Wow, we're doing really good. Thank you guys. Okay, Shock 2957. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas indeed. It's gonna be a wonderful stream. It's gonna be a wonderful one, folks. Here we go. A2R Gaming. Join Discord for more good discussions. Yes, the Discord link should be in the
description below.
The description below. But anyway, guys, I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and we're gonna have some really good stuff to talk about today, and we'll be talking also next week. We go to Miami. We'll be doing a couple of live streams there too. So, Merry Christmas, everybody! There's your early Christmas gift. So get ready for that. Alrighty. So let's start this off here, David. Rush hour
in New York.
Delayed here for New Yorkers on the MTA on the subway.
Oh yeah.
They were stuck for hours. 3,500 people. Which that's the thing. It's mass transit. Imagine trying to get driverless cars to move 3,500 people at a time.
Oh God, that would be a catastrophe. That would be very bad.
Man.
Like.
But yeah, let's go ahead and let's look at the video over here. Let me put this on.
It's crazy.
Oh man. But
like,
hey, let's be glad over here. At least it was calm. There wasn't. I think after a certain incident on the subway, I think people are acting a little bit more civil now. There we go. So.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys didn't see on the weekend during the Army-Navy game, Daniel Penny was there. He did the right thing, so justice was served, and he was able to get a. If you don't agree, wait a second. Here we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Let me be.
There we go. We're gonna get that. That's gonna become a normal thing now in the club. So.
Like taking the trash out. Am I right?
Oh man. Tomo Kun 1776 here. You are Osman Hussein. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you for being here, and everybody in the audience as well on Discord. We have Minor Tree Dump Trucker, Star Force 97, and ACB. Lex Burren, hello. Yes, we're going to talk about trains again. We are talking about trains. Let's talk about trains.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, 2 F trains were between stations and couldn't move without the power, leaving commuters stuck without AC in the tunnel. Oh man! Hey, at least it was during the winter because it's still hot down there.
Oh, yeah.
During the winter, you're still sweating. I don't know if anybody who's ever been on the subway plenty of times, but yeah, it's kind of hot and muggy down there. But oh man, at least it was during the winter. Imagine during the summer, there'll be people dying of heat
yeah.
stroke.
That would have been heat stroke central right there.
Oh man, yeah. But let me see. It was stuck at the J Street Metrotech station in Brooklyn. Many trains were stopped because of a power outage. So yeah, it's here people wanted to get us onto electric cars. We can't even figure out the power with what we have right now. So imagine that. Trapped in an unpowered rush hour F train with no AC for the last 70 minutes till FDNY got us out through a damn maintenance tunnel at Smith and Atlantic. One of the evacuated riders tweeted alongside a photo of people walking up a steep graffiti-covered stairway. Let's go ahead and see that tweet just to, because now we're on X. We have X, guys. We're here. We got it.
Oh yeah.
So should be working. There we go. Look at that. Hey. There could be worse things. At least everybody was civil. Everybody got out. Most of everybody was safe. So that's good. That's very good to hear that, it could have been a heck of a lot worse, guys. Heck of a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, I mean, look, it's part of the clause over here. That's what's going on across the United States. Our infrastructure is crumbling.
Oh, yeah.
A strap hanger complained that the whole experience was a, quote, a crap show. I would say the whole thing, but YouTube, being YouTube, heck with it, why not? It's Christmas. We got super chats over here. It's a shit show.
Yeah, it is a shit show.
Right now. Why not? Okay, there we go. Absolutely brutal commute. Okay, complete shit show, but gotta credit the FDNY and the MTA staff on our train for getting us through. Okay, so everybody, let's take a round of applause for the FDNY. Those are the good guys there, and the MTA for getting
we gotta meet up.
keeping everybody safe.
Hey, bro.
I mean, yeah, this could have been a heck of a lot worse. I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad, but I mean, look, there could have been, oh man, a heck of a lot worse because, I mean. Imagine, where's that tweet that I had here? Where is it? I had it here somewhere.
Imagine if it were autonomous cars. Ooh, that would be bad.
Okay, yeah, imagine, here's the thing. Imagine being stuck on the subway, with this, here we are, this, pow, pow.
Yeah, did craziness.
Pow! 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 Imagine being stuck with that guy on the subway.
Oh yeah,
oh man.
That would be bad. That would be bad.
This is the problem. Is that the thing is that people have complained a long time about the safety, not just in the New York City subway, but across the United States. And it's very much, I wouldn't say just an American problem. It's very much an American problem, but we're seeing this across the Anglosphere, and across the Western world.
Oh yeah.
Within the United States and Europe. I mean, we're seeing, particularly yes, in the United States, we have a lot more of that, but. This is the thing. People do not feel safe most of the time on that, and luckily, and whatever blessings that came to happen, this did not happen when people were stuck. Because I mean, imagine. Okay, well, we'll get to that later. Imagine being stuck in a damp, humid, hot tunnel with 3,000 other people. Okay, let's give it to New Yorkers because New Yorkers do deserve some credit over here. They behaved very well and they got it through. Not that New Yorkers don't behave well at all. Honestly, I think New Yorkers are probably some of the nicest people on there. This is coming. Then again, I'm coming from Miami, the rudest city in the United States. It's like voted like 3 times in a row the rudest city in the United States. And every time I've gone to New York, I'm like, well, people are super nice here. They look at me like I'm weird. It's like it's true though. I mean, there's a difference between being rude and being high-strung.
Right,
New Yorkers are high-strung.
Dimitri, I gotta tell you this, is that some of the rooted people are from Florida. Like, I have seen some people, and they're from my home city. Like, we got them rude people here, and the nice people. Like, Charlton is a mixed bag. In my home city, like, it's a mixed bag. Like, we got people who are nice and people who are rude. Like, it depends on what area of Charleston you're in. But I have seen some nice people from our city and some rude people. But I have seen some super rude people from Florida.
Yeah, and it's very sad for the state of Florida. Most of those people aren't even born and raised in Florida, which is bad because it makes the whole rest of the state bad. You know, look, my mom was born in Miami in the 50s. Okay, not to make her look old or anything like that, but when Miami was still considered the South. Okay, it's much different time. You can go in and out of people's houses. Doors were unlocked. People were super nice to each other. It was a nice time to be. In South Florida, okay? And things have changed, of course. It's just the way it is, whether we like it or not, but it's just the reality. We just wish people could be nicer, okay? It's just something in general. But anyway, moving on. We know what's going on in New Jersey.
Drone problem.
Trump tweeted this out with Chris Christie ordering a whole bunch of Uber Eats from drones and I gotta say, the AI has gone pretty funny.
Yeah, people are going crazy over the drones thing. Heck, we had a couple of drone sightings earlier tonight here in Charleston. So, it's spreading.
Yeah, I mean, this is nuts. I was talking with Darius last night about it as well. I mean, it's definitely, I'd say I'm on the side that it's definitely our own government that's doing it and screwing around with us, because we're the only one that has that sort of technology. The other being our greatest ally, having access to being able to launch drones out of submarines from 30 miles, 20 nautical miles out of sea and have them loitering there and shoot them out and go around. But I mean, this is kind of nuts. But if anybody in New Jersey has some drones to spare, the MTA is actually, they put out, I talked about this a little bit last time, they put out a request for drones for bus tracking for the MTA. So that's pretty funny. I don't think that's what they're there for, but yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff. I don't think it's definitely not aliens, okay? Because why would an alien species who has access to faster than light travel want to go to New Jersey?
Probably to F around.
I'm talking about, look,
Probably to F around.
Jersey, okay, please. I get it, but come on. You're gonna come, thousands and thousands of light years away to visit New Jersey? I mean, do you like The Sopranos that much? Really? Come on. Yeah. All right. Let's get into some of the main topic for this. And David, you're gonna like this one. GM has shut down their robotaxi. The money pit is gone. It's no longer around.
About
So
time.
that is it for Cruise.
Like, it's about time for this, Like,
So, go ahead.
let me be honest, GM had it coming to them, for all the years that they screwed around with this country,
Oh yeah, and definitely I'll show a little bit of that. In fact, I mean, this is not a new idea of having autonomous vehicles running throughout the street and all that sort of stuff. This has been a thing that GM has been planning for almost close to 100 years at this rate, back to Futurama. Well, 90 years. Okay, let's be fair.
All right, fun
90
fact.
years with Futurama, having basically self-driving cars on these super highways and plowing down all of the United States from sea to shining sea in a glorious ocean of asphalt for their own profit. So yeah, it's one blow to them because nobody really wants self-driving cars. There's something called the train. We've had that for years.
Dimitri, fun fact. The British had autonomous trains since the 1920s. Underground. They had an autonomous mail train underground all the way up from the early 1900s, from the 1920, all the way up until 2003.
Yeah, this is not at all a new technology. I mean, you see these if you've been either to California and Los Angeles or San Francisco or Austin, Texas, you're going to see these little Waymos driving around, and they've already had so many issues. The taxi guys love to speaking of baseball bats here. The taxi guys love having these things beating baseball bats. I mean, it's kind of funny, or the Uber drivers or the taxi unions. But again, this is not a new thing that they've been trying to do. This has been something that's been in the works for decades. So this is a video that I took over at the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles. This is a 1956 Motorama Firebird autopilot concept. There you go. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been trying to do this for decades. Okay. Look at it. Well, back then, instead of having AI, you have some guy in a central location operator going ahead and saying synchronize your speed and direction. There you go. Look at that.
Fun.
Discount Walt Disney is driving the or letting the vehicle drive itself. So This is not new with Tesla or anything else.
It's been around for a long time. We're only reinventing the wheel. It's kind of funny, you know. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. You see these commercials with cruise activated vehicle, and then these cars that GM, well, they're not even cars anymore because they still sell the Malibu, I think, and the Corvette for sure. But I mean, they don't really have many cars anymore. They're all
SUV
terrible crossovers and overpriced SUVs now. I mean, who buys a Cadillac Lyriq or the other Cadillac that's all electric? It looks terrible.
Someone got a small wiener. That's someone.
Okay, you said it, David. Not me. I was gonna go to another direction, but okay. That's David's feelings right there. But yeah, GM is still working towards autonomy. Still, they dropped in $10 billion. Which, by the way, that $10 billion, GM still owes the American public and will never get that back. The $50 billion that was used to bail them out.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody remember that 15 years ago when the first thing I did was bail out the automobile companies. Remember that? And $50 billion of American taxpayer money to go ahead and bail out a failing company that's destroyed a lot of American infrastructure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Enough, I mean, what's funny is that GM used to make a lot of train engines and stuff like that. They went full evil mode and destroyed a lot of that because it was more profitable for them to go ahead and sell multiple vehicles and personal vehicles out rather than do what works. But hey, I guess you got to make money somehow, right?
Oh yeah.
They're still pushing this cruise thing. I mean, they dropped in $10 billion in it, so yeah. But
now
the cruise employees are not having a good time because this just came out of nowhere for them.
Now, here a fun fact.
This is the worst thing you have to hear. The news came by Slack message. You just gotta love that if you hear on Slack, yeah, you're fired, you're laid off, fired. We no longer need you. Oh man.
Now, here
I kind of feel bad for them, but I mean, this is again GM. What can we say?
Now, here a fun fact. When you were talking about the autonomous cars in San Francisco, there's another thing they like to do to mess around with the autonomous car. They like to put cones on top of their sensors.
Yes, I've seen that. So, yeah, to David's point, you can disrupt, because a lot of them have either LiDAR sensors or... Well, Teslas are very far more into cameras, which... It's a little bit easier to get, and I can understand why it's going to be a long-term better solution, particularly with imaging systems, with AI and deep learning. That's really going to be a thing. But with LiDAR, it's kind of old technology and lasers, but you can basically stop an autonomous vehicle. And that's the funny thing. All these cruise systems or whatever, they're kind of using old tech because Teslas can basically run without having all these gizmos and sensors and all that sort of goofy stuff on top of this. I mean, look at how goofy this thing looks, this Waymo Jaguar. I mean, it looks flippin' goofy, but yeah, you put a traffic cone, just lay it up on top of here, and the thing is done. It just freezes. it's done.
Like,
I mean, it's just silly.
and that's the thing. What people don't realize is that the autonomous cars, they're very vulnerable.
Yeah, and how silly it is. Talk about $100 billion worth of silliness that has been thrown in to driverless cars, and we really have gotten much of nowhere. Yeah, this article is back from 2022, but we really haven't done that much. So here we go. The first car woke Jennifer King at 2 a.m. with a loud, high-pitched hum. It sounded like a hovercraft, she said. That wasn't the weird part. King lives on a dead-end street at the edge of Presidio, a 1,500-acre park in San Francisco, where through traffic isn't a thing. Outside, she saw a white Jaguar SUV backing out of her driveway. It had looked like giant fan with on its roof, a laser sensor, and bore the logo of Google's driverless car division, Waymo. These things are goofy, and they do all sorts of silly stuff. Or the one time they just started honking out of nowhere. That story was a real thing. But yeah, I mean, this is silly. Instead of investing $100 billion, could have built California.
Oh yeah.
California high-speed rail. Their problem is not funding. Let's be quite honest.
Let's be honest. It's not funding. It's corruption. It's corruption and all the red tape. Like what Elon Musk said. Even though we don't like the guy, we need to deregulate and stop making so much red tape for everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't like the guy. I find him. I'm more neutral on Elon Musk. There's some things that he does that are. Some things are humorous, some things are not, some things are just silly. I'll give the guy credit. He has a heck of a lot more cojones than most of the rich. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to do a heck of a lot more than just, oh, I made an app. I will give him that. He's actually built stuff. So I'll give credit where credit is due.
And let me be honest, a lot of the people who don't like him are little snowflakes. Who just...
That's part of it. I mean, he likes to get this thing. I would say, what's called a radical centrist, right? That's definitely been Elon Musk. He's the. Anybody hasn't seen that meme? Let me see if I can find that meme. But yeah. And speaking of this, I mean, Microsoft. Speaking of things that can't make anything anymore, they lost a whole lot of stake on this. $800 million. They lost on Cruise. I mean, what a losing bet they made.
Oh, I know. Big loss right there.
Yeah, too bad. They can kick rocks. I mean, how many times have they? They bricked one of my laptops because they can't stop freaking updating things without anybody's consent.
Oh yeah.
And then whatever updates they do, it just tends to break 5 things, maybe fix 1, but most of it just sucks.
Heck, and worse yet, the best system that they had, Windows 10. They're getting rid of it, you know?
Oh, man.
Like...
Yeah, I mean, I would say I still think Windows XP was the best Windows. Okay? There was no need to go anywhere else from there, but, you know, I'm kind of showing my age. It's like Windows XP, yeah.
Like, and here my team.
Oh, man.
Like, I guarantee Microsoft is not going to have a good time in the next 5 to 10 years. Because the way they're going, it's not going to be pretty at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's just... the thing is, I mean, what other options do you have? I mean, you're stuck with Apple if you have that, and Apple's just basically its own ecosystem. I mean, yeah, the computers are clean. They work most of the time.
But they're super fragile.
It's just finicky with any other program that works well, and by well, I mean relatively well on Microsoft. But yeah, okay, I can't find the meme, but heck with it. Let's just keep going.
Oh, speaking of that, I sent a article something crazy that happened in New York with another CEO, but not assassination. But
okay, all right. I was gonna say another one. But anyway, okay. But speaking of the problem when it comes to autonomous vehicles is that it's building upon a system that doesn't work. It's basically going ahead and applying a Band-Aid to a system that has far outgrown itself. You cannot increase capacity on roadways far more than they are right now because it's basically already to the max capacity. And again, there's a concept called induced demand. The more lanes you introduce into the system, the more people are going to say, hey, I'm going to drive that route. So if you have an interstate that has 3 lanes, you expand that into 6 lanes and into 9 lanes. Well, more people are going to start taking that interstate rather than whatever routes they would usually take back and forth to commute. And you're just increasing the amount of people that are going to be on there. And by the time you do that, there's not going to be any land left. It's going to look like this. Which is funny enough, at the Peterson Automotive Museum, this these paintings that they have here. And it's funny, they had this about this guy painted this accident. That's the thing. Unfortunately, with the automobile, fantastic invention. I love cars, but the problem is, can you really trust the average person that doesn't really have the spatial awareness to operate a 2-ton object at a rate of speed that exceeds their thinking? Let's be honest.
Nope.
Okay, and worse off is you're forcing people to use this when they don't want to. There's so many people who would rather not drive. They're just forced because, unfortunately, the cities that did have mass transportation, mass transit, or trains, mainly trains,
were destroyed.
They cannot perform at the same rate of trains. Buses are needed. They're best as circulators. That's how they work. But they're not for connecting from city to city point all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and look at this here. So this was a diorama that somebody created of a highway. And in the middle here, I got a better footage with the when I took video of it because I was going in and out with the focus, and this just took an autofocus picture. But over here is supposed to be a train station, going back and forth. You can kind of make out there's a train there. I know it's out of focus, but look at how much space you're taking away. So there's a train. Here you go. There's your route. Here's how many lanes of traffic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 12 lanes of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
All of that to take what? The same, actually less amount of people. Again, this is the thing why the train wins, because capacity. That's the thing. You cannot beat the train when it comes to capacity. That's why it's called mass transportation.
Mm-hmm. And you have people who don't like it, who let her force people into cars. Like, I've been saying that for a long time, ever since I watched your video back in 2017, is that people think cars are freedom. Sad reality, they are really not. What they cause it to be is to shackle to debt. And let me just say this. When you destroy walkability, transit, accessibility, and build road, parking lot, and everything for a car, but not for people, and force them to buy cars, that's not freedom, that's tyranny. That is straight up tyranny right there.
Yeah, it's giving people a choice. It's giving people a choice. All right, what's going on in the chat over here? Because I hear a lot of people are going in the chat. I even got F's in the chat, boys. What's going on? Drones sniffing out. Nukes, I heard. Let's see. Automated metros indeed. Speaking of drones, what about the eVTOL quad shifters like the Jetsons FF? What's going on? What are all the Fs for? What's dead? Is the okay? No, the stream's going. The stream's still going. Let's see.
Yep, here come P89, the Palmetto. Hey, Dimitri, already 28 minutes.
GM's pet project. Okay, yeah, not F. S to spit. S to spit. No F. No F's for Futurama. No, it's only S in here. Okay?
Yep.
It's not. We're not paying respects to this silliness. Okay.
Nope.
This is no. This is, here we go. I'm gonna be the tyrant right now. S to spit on Cruise. It's done. Patooey. Done.
Oh yeah.
Gone. There we go. Anyway.
What I was trying to say, we already had our second train pass by in the last 28 minutes since we started the live stream.
Yeah, there we go, guys. Yeah, more S's. There we are. Hey, Brian Rock, real fan. There you are. Yeah, spit on the idea. I spit on you.
There it's being that.
Yeah, that ideas deserve to get. Well, first this, and then the spit. Okay, there we go. Maximum disrespect for GM's silly pet project that went nowhere. And it will be the same for Waymo, and Google will lose money on it too, because it's still it was funny anywhere that I went in Los Angeles. When I went to take any sort of pictures or videos of the Waymos going through, anybody on the sidewalk would say, "Don't take videos of that. Those are terrible. We hate those things." Nobody likes them.
Mm-hmm.
They're an eyesore. They're silly. They take away people's jobs. Forget that. It's just a silly idea. If the investment that could have been put into Waymo was put into Los Angeles' metro system, imagine how many more people would be able to get around.
A lot
So,
more.
I would say, relative to the rest of the United States, Los Angeles has a pretty okay metro system. It is pretty nice. I wish it was more connected, especially through the sprawl of the LA metropolitan area. But it's still pretty nice. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have a good base.
Oh,
But yeah, this is just silly. But anyway, let's talk about automatic trains. Instead of self-driving vehicles, how about self-driving trains? Because the train doesn't have to make any turns or anything like that. It's just going back and forth and making sure it doesn't bump into anything and making sure people go in, people go out. Very simple. That's why you've had self-driving trains. I mean, even the Tokyo Metro system said that they can essentially can operate the system autonomously. The only reason that they don't is because they always have to have a human element on there, driving the train, making sure that it's actually doing things. And that's actually a good thing. It's have the automation in the background, but have a human element that's on top of it to make sure that everything is operating effectively. That, I think, we should bring here into the United States. That sort of concept, the train of thought, pun intended.
Oh, speaking of that, Dimitri, I did put up in the live stream chat that a very interesting talk about a New York CEO about to lose everything for Christmas.
Let's see. Oh boy.
Like,
okay. All right. We'll leave that for last.
oh yeah.
I mean, let's. Yeah. Boy. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit about CEOs and the aristocrats of our age, the nobles of our age, the rich, the famous, those that have the power and the money. We'll talk about that later on. But let's talk about this. Automated train service returns today, well, yesterday, Sunday, December 15th, on one DC Metro rail line, the first time in 15 years. The automatic train operation system will be used on any portion of the 6-line, 120-mile line. So here's the red line over here, again, all the way from Glenmont. For anybody who's never taken the DC Metro, I've been on it once.
I seen it in person too.
Pretty alright.
Pretty alright, but they could do better.
Yeah, that definitely can do better. But Shady Grove all the way to Glenmont, it's probably one of the more central lines over here, along with the. It's pretty nice. But anyway, the return of ATO disabled after a fatal collision in 2009. Again, this is why you need a human element on there. Although it was eventually determined the system was not at fault. Okay, I don't have that much details into that. But okay, I'll believe it. Was approved last week by the independent Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission. DC Metro Rail gets approval. Train newswire, December 11, 2024. At the time, the Washington Metropolitan Area Authority indicated return today was likely. That was made official later in the week. So there you go. See, they do have that. That's available. I mean, compared to how many people have been hit and killed by autonomous vehicles, probably a heck of a lot less of a disaster.
Oh yeah, far less a disaster than anything on the road, you know.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Next article over here. Amtrak's fastest trains in the U.S. could start carrying passengers in spring. So we talked a little bit about this. The Acela. Oh boy. There we go. It's finally the Available Liberty train sets are finally going to be in service. Finally, after years and years of testing, of sorting out all whatever technical or safety regulations or whatever silliness that they had to do. I don't know why it had to take years, but it did. Here it is. Finally ready for prime time, finally ready to go into passenger revenue service. Here we are. Finally get to ride a $2.4 billion Acela trains capable of hitting 180 miles an hour this spring on the Northeast Corridor. In New Jersey, if they pass final tests. Oh, man. At this point, I think that the trains are going to be public school students at this rate with the amount of testing.
Oh, yeah. At that rate, probably a yes.
Man. It's getting worse. Does the train have to take the FCAT too? For those of you in Florida, you know what the FCAT is, or whatever standardized testing it is, whatever it's called in your state, the CAT, the FCAT, the this, the that, whatever it is. It's ridiculous. But here we go. Yeah. So, manufacturer also on Amtrak have completed qualification testing will submit the results to the FRA soon, Abrams said. The next trains will enter pre-revenue testing. Is there a pre-revenue testing? Do they have the late show, the late night show that they have to go on to? Setting the stage for us to serve our customers in spring 2025 when these trains will become the fastest in operation in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That it will. That it will. Amtrak does like to go ahead and put that they have the only true high-speed rail in the United States for now.
Until
average speed.
2028.
Yeah. Because there's technically one railroad out there that's averaging a higher speed than Amtrak and even the Acela right now. But let's see where things change in 2028. But we still look. We love Amtrak here. Okay, we wish them the best. We wish them to have success, which they had this year, the best year that they had on record.
Oh yeah.
Almost. Not. I would say they're not as close in 2019 to almost making a profit, but at least the most amount of passengers that they have ever.
And the moat routes open.
Really good.
Let not forget the moat routes open.
Yeah. People want to ride trains. It's as simple as that. Give people the trains.
Yep. Give them the train.
In January, one of 28 new Acela trains was videoed speeding through Princeton Junction in Mercer County. That's the section. Yeah, that's the fastest where they go in. A section on the northeast corridor of the raceway. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I said. With the trains can hit a top speed of 150 miles an hour. Okay, I mean, I wish they can go 180 miles an hour. I mean, it shouldn't be that we have a northeast corridor and rail system that is so far behind. And we're talking about sections of the track that are 100, almost 150 years old. The Baltimore Tunnel being, built after the Civil War, I believe 1867 when it was built. I mean, we're talking about Civil War era technology that is still holding up to this day.
Oh, I know.
It just shows you how far ahead the American nation was back then in terms of just getting this done, and the people who built that, I mean, it's incredible. It really is.
Like, the fact is that they were far more ahead than we are now speaks volume.
Yeah, it's definitely a different time. And like I've said before, yes, the rich and the aristocrats back then, they weren't perfect at all. I mean, far from it. But they had a lot more love for this nation and had a lot more to give back in terms of physical monuments to not just themselves. I mean, you have to have a little bit of megalomania if you even want to put it that way. But at least some sort of philanthropy, real philanthropy, not some sort of fake Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Has anybody else seen any sort of dollar come to the local community from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
Nope.
I mean, please, let's not even get into that. Okay? Where's the Bill and Melinda Gates tower? Where's the Bill and Melinda Gates park? Okay?
Nowhere.
Where's the Bill and Melinda Gates library or the Bill and Melinda Gates station? Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, build something that we can actually see, that actually beautifies the area, that's a testament to the greatness of the nation, the greatness of its people, and looking towards something greater than. Okay?
What? No.
There needs to be a greater than back in this country, and God we trust. That's what we need to go to. Okay? There's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back to this before I go too off topic.
Oh, yeah.
An Amtrak General Inspector's report in September found 2 issues that said were likely to delay 2024 rollout of the new trains. The FRA is closely monitors the progress being made to complete qualification testing and analysis necessary to operate new Acelas on the Northeast Corridor. We're aware that Amtrak plans to officially submit the results to the FRA. Again, they're not saying exactly what it is. But there we go. Okay, so the new 11-car train sets will include 9 passenger cars, seating for 380 people, and more legroom than the current trains, and most airlines provide even in first class, which is true. There's more market share for the Acela service between New York in Washington D.C. than there is by flying.
Oh yeah.
It's just what it is. So it's in the perfect spot,
It
and
is.
it's by far Amtrak's most profitable line. It just makes sense to have this sort of stuff. Now, when it comes to pricing, that's a whole different story. Because compared to the rest of the world, the Amtrak Acela is way more expensive for what you're getting compared to, let's say, Spain or even Japan or Germany. And if we have time, we'll go into that a little bit because my future mother-in-law did send a article about a couple new routes that are for almost 10 euros that you can get on a high-speed train between Paris and Berlin. I mean, could you imagine if we had something like that over here? Imagine going from New York to Washington D.C. on a high-speed train for $10.
That would bring in a lot more money if they lower the prices. Like, let me be on about this. All you need to do, like for Amtrak let into the bring your prices down to $10. You will have more people riding than you have ever seen before. Like,
yeah, and I don't think that's economically feasible for Amtrak right now. It's possible. It's just right now for where they have the last financial report, they weren't really that close to breaking even. Not like the last time that they were in 2019. But I'm pretty sure they could be able to tweak stuff. And once if they hit their goal of having 50 million passengers by 2030, I'm pretty sure you can be able to see some sort of discounts on Amtrak. That would be interesting to see. Because even Brightline, I know people complain about the prices on Brightline, but to get from Miami to Orlando is about half the price than the Acela.
Heck yeah. Like, even though everybody complain about the prices, but here at Zane, when jumping it brand new, the prices are more expensive at the beginning. They always are. Am I right?
Yeah. Exactly. And again, it's economies of scale. That also happens to put a part of it. The reason why train travel is so cheap in Europe is because you have a lot of trains. We talked about this, I believe, a year or 2 years ago, where Spain was offering on the high-speed trains in Spain €8 to go from not some not 50 miles to go from Madrid to Barcelona. Okay, the two of the largest cities in Spain for €8 on a high-speed train. That's incredible. We have over here Lex Burn in Europe saying I can go from Amsterdam to Brussels for €30 by train. That's like saying going from Chicago to Indianapolis or Chicago to Milwaukee. That's about the same distance. I mean, the whole misconception, and it's a very bad faith misconception of people saying that high-speed rail or any sort of similar train service won't work in the United States because we don't have the first of all, that we're too big.
That BS lie right there.
It's
Like,
so silly.
Like, it's so silly. It a BS lie. Like, let me be honest. The only people who promoted that type of propaganda, and I'm gonna bring it up, was the car companies, the car company and the airlines. Back in the day, promoted that type of propaganda. Like, all this stuff that people believe in and now, in our country is too big for passenger rail, you could point your finger toward the car company and the airlines.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say, remember, we still have that video with Ben Baldanza, the former CEO of Spirit Airlines, who was ousted, by the way. He wasn't even good enough for Spirit Airlines. I mean, that says something about your CEOs. Again, we don't hate CEOs at all. I think the thing, speaking just a little bit of a tangent on CEOs, I think the problem that people have in the United States is that they don't hate CEOs. They hate being stepped on, and they hate bad people.
Oh yeah.
Which is why you see a lot of why it's so disturbing to so much people. No, there's only a certain point that you can step on people and expect them. I mean, even speaking of things back then, I mean, there was a lot of anger towards the captains of industry, or whatever you want to call them, the robber barons, which I don't think they should be called the robber barons.
Yeah, they would not.
The beginning of the end of the 19th and early 20th century. I mean, you had so many strikes, and I mean the Pullman strike. Okay, speaking of trains, the Pullman strike in Chicago. Okay, which probably wouldn't have happened if they didn't have a recession in 1893. But I digress. There's a lot to go into there. I mean, you had the Homestead strike,
yeah.
which almost ended in almost an assassination. Well, there was an assassination attempt, but it didn't kill. Was it Henry Clay Frick who was running Carnegie Steel, the factory in Pennsylvania? Which, here's the thing, people don't understand when they saw, who was it? It was the History Channel's. They had some sort of documentary, The Men Who Built America, and they made the Homestead strike look like it was a bunch of poor union workers, the poor laborers all standing in line, and then the Pinkertons just start open firing on them. No, that wasn't at all what happened. Labor strikers, they basically started a whole entire, almost a whole full battle. They brought a 20-pound brass cannon. Okay, they had a cannon, which, by the way, okay, speaking of Second Amendment, you can have a cannon. And somebody did bring a cannon. They had Winchester repeating rifles of 1873s, full-on lever actions. The Pinkertons got on there. They didn't know what the heck was going on because they had like a whole bunch of people that were new agents, and they had no clue what the hell was going on, why they were being brought up there. It was a massacre on both sides. I think like 30 or so people died. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of violence back then too.
Dimitri.
People think that, this is violence. Oh, you haven't seen American history.
Dimitri,
I mean,
fun fact.
Rockefeller almost got killed in assassination because the bomb went off earlier before. Teddy Roosevelt, okay, he got shot, and luckily he didn't die because I think he had a book in his glasses case in his chest.
And he still spoke at...
This was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think the hotel or whatever he did in front of is still there.
But, Dimitri, fun fact, here in South Carolina, you can own a freaking missile or a rocket. Here in South Carolina.
Hey, shall not be infringed. That's what I say. Anyway,
like, see the rocket, man, next thing you know, blowing up.
Exactly, man. Exactly, man. But since we're going back and talking about antitrust laws and going back to the turn of the century between the 1800s to the 1900s, same thing's starting to come up again. Look at it. CSX is asking the Supreme Court to review antitrust lawsuit against Norfolk Southern. This is kind of funny to look at.
Oh yeah, it is.
So David, I don't know how familiar you are with this, but go on if you know enough of this. Go ahead and riff on this because this is pretty interesting.
Well, CSX is calling out Norfolk Southern for monopolizing up in the Northeast. Well, they are also monopolizing up in the Northeast. And funny thing is that Norfolk Southern and CSX, they made a deal back a couple years ago when CSX bought in Pan Am to operate on an NS line going to Massachusetts. And I get Norfolk Southern would not having it. So you can read the rest of the article here.
Yeah, so here we go. Jacksonville, Florida-based CSX sued Atlanta-based Norfolk Southern in October 2018, claiming its competitor conspired with Norfolk and Portsmouth Beltline Railroad Company to set an excessive switch rate on dock access to the Port of Virginia. CSX set the switch rate of $210 per train car, cost the company hundreds of millions of dollars since its implementation back in 2009. I mean, $210 doesn't seem like a lot, but multiply that out by how many hundreds of cars are coming in every day and out. And yeah, it does end up to hundreds of millions of dollars. That is nuts. But it's just hilarious. The Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Virginia ruled the CSX allegations were untimely because they were not within the 4-year window allowing for filing U.S. antitrust law claims. This is hilarious. It is unclear whether the Supreme Court may rule on the review request. CSX remains focused on its effort to gain competitive access at NIT, Norfolk International Terminals, at the Virginia Port Authority's largest marine terminal, so that we can best serve our customers, said CSX spokesperson Sherry Bowman in an emailed statement to FreightWaves. FreightWaves has reached out to Norfolk Southern for comment, and it looks like Norfolk has not commented. So
one thing I have learned is when someone don't comment, they're in the wrong.
After what Norfolk did to East Palestine, Ohio, you know what? I'm rooting for CSX. I'm rooting for the Florida company here.
Oh yeah, me too.
Let them have it. Keep going.
Because
keep going. Let them fight. Let them cook. That's That's what I say. Let them cook. And CSX, you go, man. I'm in your corner. Here, you want? Have it. There you go.
Heck,
Have the
and
bat.
here's the funny thing. Amtrak new CEO is friendly with Amtrak. Like, that a real kicker. CXX new CEO, he is very friendly with Amtrak, with a big bonus right there.
Yeah, and that should be good. I mean, hopefully that Amtrak is not. That's really the main reason why Amtrak is so late on a lot of these, especially the long distance corridors, because it's a federal law that priority has to be given to passenger rail, but most of the freight railroads, especially the class ones, don't follow that. They tell Amtrak to wait on the side while they go ahead and pull 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 freight trains. I've seen that one time where we're just sitting there for 4 hours on the Silver Meteor, and there's 5 different freight trains that are going through, and we're stuck there for hours until we can finally go forward. Yes, I get it. You own the lines. That's great, but follow the law. That would be nice. There's a reason why they're there, and it's not a bad law. There's silly laws. And granted, at least what it's like, how many different U.S. codes, how many pages of U.S. code there are out there, I would guarantee there's at least 80% of them that we can do without. But there's a good number of them that actually make sense, and they're there for a reason to have law and order.
Speaking of that, CXX and Norfolk Southern are having a dick measuring contest right now to see who have the most heritage units.
Oh man, I didn't say it. You said it, man.
I had to bring it up for funniness because CXX and Norfolk Southern are right now neck and neck with both having 21 heritage units each. They're both having a dick measuring competition. Ain't that funny?
That's fun. I mean, you know what I wish we had was some sort of like grand railroad museum similar to. Again, Japan takes everything one step ahead of everything, but that Saitama Railway Museum, I still think was the best museum I've ever been to in my entire life. And I've been to so many different museums, but man, that was just, wow. That was more like a grand cathedral to the railroad than just a museum. That was just amazing.
Like, the only railroad museum I've been to is the North Carolina Transportation Museum up in Spencer. That was the only one I've been up to, and it's great, up there. Like,
and I've seen, look, the American Railroad Museums, they do a good job, and plenty of them, Gold Coast and the Oklahoma City Railroad Museum.
The Illinois Railroad Museum.
Dotted around the United States. But I think really the main issue is that they don't have the same amount of funding or the same amount of people. Look, the Gold Coast, I would say definitely is my personal favorite, being my neck of the woods. Fantastic group of people. It's just I wish there was more, a lot more love from the community at large and funding for it. I know we have our own groups of people that love trains, and believe me, that's great. But this country in general needs to have a lot more love for the railroad, especially for what the railroad has done to build this nation up. It still does every day with the freight railroads, as much as we like the class ones here and there. I mean, they do provide a lot of economic output, and they provide most of the goods in this country, moving them around.
Dimitri,
that's just reality.
You're going to laugh at it, but they would care more over an airplane or car museum over a train museum. Like, seriously, like, it's just so sad to see,
Yeah, I mean, look, kind of the same way, but then again, there wasn't any big railroad museum in Los Angeles. I wanted to see Red Car. Apparently, it's stuck somewhere in Disneyland. So there's no Red Car museum in Los Angeles. There's a subway museum in Brooklyn, New York, and that was really cool. They did an excellent job with that, and they still do. And again, the city of New York does spend a lot of money to keep that operating. So again, there is funding. We do have a lot of money around in this country. There's a shortage of cash available, at least when it comes to public funding. The problem is where that funding is allocated to, and where that's going, and what results are coming out of it. But anyway, I digress. Next article here: Union Pacific transfers local service in Eugene, Oregon to Genesee and Wyoming Central Oregon and Pacific Railroad. Did I say that right? Genesee, is that how you say it?
Genesee and Wyoming.
Genesee. There we go. Genesee and Wyoming. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So, some good business practices. They're divesting out local services to smaller companies, so it's not as much of a monopoly by a little bit. So there we go. This change allows Union Pacific to reduce the number of times a rail car is handled, providing flexibility and agility for both railroads, to meet current customer needs and anticipated growth. So yeah, there you go. Short line railroad handling service from Union Pacific. That's pretty good. If we had more, this would be a good thing if we had more of these short line railroads throughout where the class ones, if there was maybe some more divestment into that.
We used to have them, but corrupt companies that wanted to take everything over.
Yeah, I think, let's see, again, I'm optimistic but cautious for the next administration. I'm very much optimistic for the vibe in this country, for the economy. That is a very good thing. I do think for sure we're going to see a better economy in the next 4 years or so. Give or take that they don't do something in the next 2 months, because, I mean, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this rate. Not just in the United States. I mean, of course, you have the drones, whatever sort of violence is going on with the country, whether this is a psyop or not, but you have what's going on in Syria, which that's going to turn into an absolute hellhole. And unfortunately, we're going to probably see a lot of, I hope not, a lot of taxpayer money going to that. And I don't know what else is going on or what's going to be happening between Russia and Ukraine. But again, these are all different things that are happening across the world. If whatever happened in South Korea, the failed Pat Labor 2 live action.
Oh, he got impeached. Quick update, the guy got impeached. He got impeached.
Ah, man, South Korea. Oof. Okay, but anyway. Yeah, look, there's just so much going on within the world. So anybody who's saying that nothing is happening, no, there's a lot happening. Okay? If nothing ever happens, crowd, there's a lot happening. Please don't be telling me that nothing ever happens. There's a lot happening. Unfortunately, all at once. So I'm just hoping and praying that nothing comes to, pun intended, derail the good times in this country. So we do need a little bit of it. Speaking of who's coming in, Trump is backing the ILA, the International Longshoremen's Association, in the port labor standoff. So for those of you who forgot about this,
oh, I haven't.
it came off to the side back in October, and it was canceled. The happening was canceled, but now the happening is back, because they will start to go ahead and strike come January 20th, 21st, I believe, when they're going to come back onto the picket line. David, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So let me just go here and say this. President-elect Donald Trump on Thursday sided with union longshoremen and their employees over the deployment of port automation technology. This is what he said. I kid you not. I study automation. I know just about everything there is to know about it. Trump wrote, "The amount of money saved is nowhere near the stress, hurt, and harm it causes for American workers. In this case, our longshoremen, aren't they the best? Aren't they the greatest? We love the longshoremen here. Thank you, everybody. We love them." You can always see him doing that. But, yeah, funny enough, he's put in a lot more vocal support than the current president for a union. Which, alas, I mean, Biden hadn't really said that much. He said he supports them in a letter and maybe a couple little talks here and there, but that's about it. Trump, again, he's a bit more bombastic. He's a lot more social, a lot more extroverted. He's going to say what he thinks, and there's little to no filter on that. Whether he does what he says is a whole other matter, but we'll get into that later and some other time, and we've talked about that plenty of times. But this is going to be interesting to see, because he definitely does, at least vocally, does have more support for the American worker. And look, that's why he won. Whether you like it or not.
Not to that, but the Amish too.
Went out to support Trump.
But not forget, the Amish helped him too.
I'm not sorry. Let's put it that way. I'm not sorry. I take my sorry back. For people who are taking my sorry, I take that back. No, I'm not sorry. I'm glad he won.
I agree. I'm not sorry
Oh,
either.
man. You're saying that?
I agree with you because here, funny Jane, they're going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers. Biden, and good thing that Kamala did not win, did pardon someone who sold $800 million from cancer patients that she let die.
That's nuts. That's really nuts. Yeah, I saw a lot of those pardons. It's really just messed up, honestly. Oh man, but okay, January 15th is when they're gonna start again. Thank you very much for that, and for everyone in there in the YouTube land, or liking you guys out there, thank you so much. Marty Flowers, sorry for the us. I know my fiance is gonna come and start hitting me on the us. I always just tend to get that. But anyway, Marty Flowers is asking, stream from what train when? Probably next week. I do want to get on Brightline. I want to have a stream on there. Now, whether or not the chat does get to there or not, I do want to do it. Funny enough, I just wanted to test this out on YouTube. This is a new feature that honestly should have been in there for a long time. It should have been on, years and years ago. Let's be honest. But thank you, YouTube. YouTube finally did a good thing. Okay,
finally.
And no, not just get rid of Susan, who's probably having pitchforks. Let's get some justice in there. Okay, honestly, nobody likes Susan.
She died. She dead.
She did a bad job. She did a bad job. I'm sorry for her loss. That's all I'll say about that. Okay.
She died from cancer. She died from cancer, by the way.
I know, but oh man.
Karma is a bitch.
Getting the text. I'm going to. Yes, I'm not going. Okay, I'm trying to hold that back. Not that I say or the worst thing that I had was saying also too as well. That got beat out of me years ago, and I'm glad for that. That was a very bad filler. And Tomo Kun is putting the S in there. I'm not going to say that much more. People know what I think about Susan. But let's keep going over here. Let's keep going. All right. Where are we at? We're at 9 o'clock over here. Let's just try to finish these up.
Oh.
Port of LA, Long Beach Railroad wins grant for electric locomotives. Speaking of at the ports, that's why we talk about the ports a lot, because whatever comes off those ships, all those containers, they have to go on trains at some point or another. So yes, this again, this is the American Rail Club. We're talking about all sorts of trains, from passenger rail to freight rail, and everything in between. All sorts of industry, all sorts of infrastructure. This is what we're all about over here. Funding for Pacific Harbor Line follows year-long testing program. So together with the CARB, which I have a lot to say about the California Air Resources Board, but anyway, has received partial funding for 5 zero-emission locomotives. Funding for the acquisition will be provided through a U.S. Department of Transportation Consolidated Rail Infrastructure and Safety Improvements Greasy Program grant. So there we go. That's good.
It's going to backfire on them bad. It's going to backfire. Them going full battery electric, that going to backfire bad.
It could. It couldn't. It depends on how far they're taking it, because it would be better if they had catenaries, which there's a lot of electric freight railroads, particularly in Europe and in Japan. I believe China has some. I think Russia also has an electric freight railroad. But the problem with battery electric is charging that whole thing up. It could have been a hybrid system. I think that would have been better. But hey, there's something. The PHL locomotives will be manufactured in the United States for Rail, which used to be General Electric, and that was spun off, I believe, back in 2018.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, so there we go. Now, speaking of Trump and investments, we talked about this back in 2017 with SoftBank, which at the time, SoftBank did own Fortress Investments, but it looks like they're going to invest $100 billion in U.S. projects. Mainly those are going to be what they call AI and computer chips. That's what they're going into. Now, just to be clarified, SoftBank does not own Fortress Investments anymore. That was sold to an Emirati company, the Emirates. I forget what the name of it is. Muddle Barra, something like that. It's a muddled name. But anyway, they've sold Fortress Investments to there. Fortress Investments is still going ahead and operating independently from there. Just because you own something through investments doesn't mean you completely control it. You can, but doesn't mean that. But anyway, this is pretty interesting to see. Again, it seems that Trump really likes Masayoshi Son because he's had him on several times. He likes Shinzo. He still misses Shinzo Abe. There's a lot of reports that he calls his wife, the widow of Shinzo Abe, just to check in on her, make sure that she's doing okay. But yeah, there was a good bromance between Trump and Abe. That was really cool to see. And Abe was really trying to push to have high-speed rail in the United States. We do miss him dearly. That was one guy who did not have to go the way he did.
Oh yeah.
He didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
that was definitely a bad thing that happened.
Like,
okay, look, we're gonna be fair in this channel. That shouldn't have happened. That was terrible. Of all the guys,
like
leaders to Shinzo Abe, come on. Look, he wasn't perfect. Okay, and there probably was some little things here and there, but he did a lot more for that country than a lot of other leaders would. And he was at least an ally to the United States, and he was a friend to Trump. So I will give him that. Okay,
yeah.
He wasn't at all an SOB. Not by far. But going back to Masayoshi Son, here we go. Let me see if I can. Where does it say here? Pledged $50 billion investments in 50,000 jobs. Now, that was something that happened. I believe SoftBank was going to get I think it was in Wisconsin. There we go. Most famously, Trump in 2017 announced with Foxconn a massive $10 billion electronics factory in Wisconsin that was expected to create 13,000 jobs. The company eventually abandoned most of the plans for the facility and the high-tech products it was set to build. The company in 2020-21 said it would invest, did I say 2020-20? 2021 said it would invest just $672 million in a revised deal that would create fewer than 1,500 jobs. So that's the thing. Look, it's $100 billion sounds great. Let's just hope. And again, we don't expect it to actually go ahead and be $100 billion of investment in 50,000 jobs. It would be nice, but I don't expect that. Again, optimistic, but cautious. We have to be fair. Okay? There's still no wall. Where's the wall? He promised this great, big, beautiful wall. Where is it? Maybe it'll happen this time, maybe not. I don't know, but man, it's just what it is. We're almost there. We're at the end. We're getting closing in here. Boeing announces more deep cuts as layoffs worsen. Oh, Boeing. Poor Boeing.
That's funny because the Boeing plant here in Charleston is actually expanded to bring 500 more jobs.
Which is weird. I guess they're reassessing where they're having most of their jobs. They are shrinking. They're decreasing their labor force pretty rapidly because they're not doing well at all. People are not. They're canceling orders. They're going to Airbus, or even worse, they're going to the Chinese version, whatever it's called. Basically, they look like copycats of whatever Boeing and Airbus did. But hey, that's what China does. And there's that's the thing. It's like they can get away with all this, but nobody does anything about it. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, if they figure out that they can keep doing that, they're just going to keep doing that because nobody wants to bring them up to bat. And if that's not going to keep happening, they're just going to keep getting away with it. You can't keep getting away with this. Well, they are, because nobody's doing anything, and hopefully our country can start to wake up. But anyway, this is on top of 17,000 jobs that they're cutting. Affected locations include Titusville and the Kennedy Space Center, mainly because their space, whatever Boeing's spacecraft project that they were working on was pretty terrible, and it wasn't going anywhere. But yeah, that's where they're going. I mean, they haven't done anything new since the Dreamliner, and that was pretty good. I've been on the Dreamliner. Really nice, really quiet. It is a comfortable aircraft, but yeah, Boeing hasn't made anything new in the last 20 years. Meanwhile, we do have a startup company called Boom that's trying to bring back, we talked about this before, supersonic flight back to not just the United States, but the rest of the world. And they've already completed test flights.
Number 3 train, getting ready to go by.
So this is pretty cool. Again, I do like having all forms of transportation. should have a whole bunch of different forms of transportation. We should have trains, we should have planes, we should have cars, we should have it all. Give people a choice. And I think that's a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is going to look really cool. And they already have orders from United Airlines, American Airlines, and Japan. They've already put in their what is it? Pre-orders. There we go. They already put in the pre-orders. I don't know if they're getting DLC with those pre-orders, but let's see.
DLC skin packs.
Yeah, they're gonna get the skin packs. There we go. They're getting cosmetics with that. Yeah, look, with everything that's going on in our country, we got into $36 trillion of debt in just the last year. I mean, it's well, not the last year, but I mean, $2 trillion in 2024 alone is pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty good graph, dipped out the wazoo. Yeah, that makes about sense. I mean, it's just nuts. You see this, of course, this big spike during the coup era with all the billions of dollars that were going out, and it just hasn't stopped since then. It's just absolutely crazy where we've gone. Look, it's just what it is, and it's not going anywhere, unfortunately. There's no way in heck that this country is going to be able to get rid of the debt in a timely manner. Now, what can happen is that we can start using that money for something to actually build assets, because we are taking out that money in U.S. dollars. China is doing something similar. I mean, they control their own central bank, so they have a lot more wherewithal to do with whatever they want. We don't really have any sort of form of control over our Federal Reserve System. It's not nationalized. It's this pseudo-privatized Federal Reserve. But anyway, we're not going to get too much into that. But instead of spending, whatever, $36 trillion, does anybody else here feel that the country is $36 trillion richer? $36 trillion better?
Nope.
After how many trillions of dollars we spent in wars overseas, probably will likely spend even more. And into what? For what? Oh man, but it's just nuts. Because look, we still haven't rebuilt in Appalachia after getting completely battered.
Yeah, it only been 3 months.
Yeah, here we are. Where's the trillions of dollars? We're sending missiles to forget, greatest ally what? What did they provide? I'm not going to even get it because it just makes me upset. Not upset, beyond livid and enraged. But this is just absolutely nuts that we're spending all this money and we can't even help our own people, who are our own nation, our own people. There's still people there without power. They're still without homes. They're freezing over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to take. There was one group that I follow on Twitter, Pacific Northwest Guerrilla. He went there himself. A guy, look at that, a citizen by himself with a couple of other folks went down there to provide wool blankets to people. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing people from all over the country coming there to help with their own time, their own volunteerism, their own money to go ahead and help these people. Where is the U.S. government? Where's the $36 trillion in the last several decades? Where's any sort of billions of dollars for these people? Where is it? Where's the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, huh? Where are they? Where are they? Come on. This is just it's sickening. It takes me off.
It downright disrespectful too.
Go ahead, man.
Downright disrespectful. Like here at Tain, Norfolk Southern, it's still, and I'm gonna be honest, the old Fort line from Asheville headed down to Charlotte, or not Charlotte, but what is the other city that it heads to? They're still rebuilding that line, you know.
It's upsetting. It's really it's
And-
sickening, and we have a right to be upset. It's just anger. It's not right. It's very wrong what's been going on.
And a lot of people.
I'm not going to stop talking about it for whenever, every other week or every week. I'm just going to keep bringing it up about Hurricane Helene and what's
Same
going
here.
on over in Appalachia, because those people need help.
Look-
It's our own people.
Oh yeah, and our own people, I agree. And here's what's been worrying, and a ton of people that I am friends with who up there who used to train watch are worried that Norfolk Southern might use it as an excuse to abandon the old Fort line. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I don't put it past them. They're kind of scummy as it is. They absolutely, what they did in East Palestine is beyond criminal.
Oh yeah.
Somebody should be in jail for that.
And
that's another thing about these companies. I mentioned it before, and I'm not going to pick on just Norfolk Southern, but let's say, for example, since healthcare is coming up and United Healthcare has been a company, there's something called a 3 strikes rule in a lot of states that if you get convicted of 3 different federal felonies, you go to prison for life. And unfortunately, since the Citizens United case, these corporations have been treated as their own sort of entities, as their own sort of citizenry, that they have First Amendment rights, that they have this and that. And that's been taken to an absolutely insane degree, that companies are basically getting away with felonies and murder. United Healthcare has been convicted of 3 different felonies.
Oh yeah, and
federal felonies.
It took a psychopath to get it took a psychopath.
Yeah, look, murder is wrong. That's fine, but here's the thing: United Healthcare is responsible for hundreds of thousands of murder. It's murder is wrong, but profiting from a system that deliberately profits from the slow death and harm to the American citizenry is beyond reprehensible.
Oh yeah.
And definitely a crime that needs to be justified.
And
look, in another time in the U.S. history, United Healthcare wouldn't exist. They'd be thrown out, and the CEO, whoever it is, because they'll change out CEOs like a hydra. He would have been in jail.
Oh.
In a heartbeat. If this was 1924, not 2024. This was 1924. Probably would have been in jail.
Oh
because
yeah.
It's one thing taking advantage of, and look, workers back then. I mean, like I told you, like they stroked like crazy. I mean, you had the Blair Mountain. I mean, look, they were going to war. It wasn't just walking in the street with 3D printed Glock. They went to freaking war.
Yeah,
the
like
National Guard had to get called in. Okay, but it's just different now. We don't have the same amount of. It's kind of a wake-up call. Again, murder is wrong. There's a time when Ecclesiastes. There's a time for war. There's a time for peace. There's a time to kill. Okay. Exodus, our Lord is a man of war. Okay, so there's a time when violence needs to be done. But again, it's weird. Again, I don't think people are talking about that he was that the company was getting. Going to court again. Yeah, they would have been fined, whatever, and their insurance company would have paid for whatever they would have, and they would have paid it off in payments, and then gotten off with good behavior, basically, by not paying it off. It's efficient infringement.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is. They know they can get away with it, so they do it anyway because they know that the profit they're going to make in billions is worth the millions of dollars in fines.
Worse yet.
That's just the problem.
Worse yet, the CEO of the other company who was in prison for life, like one I was telling you about earlier, she was pardoned by Biden, and she stole $8 million from cancer patients that died just because she cut their cancer treatment short.
Yeah, this is not. Again, I am not at all for promoting violence. There's a time you need to go to war, and yet there is just war theory, and going to war is to bring peace.
Mm-hmm.
Again, let's pretend that he did do it, because there's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, look, for a guy who was so smart, this is me, Luigi, for being so smart, to going to Stanford and UPenn and all that sort of stuff. I mean, why would you still have the Glock 19 that you printed with the slide, with the suppressor, with your manifesto? It's all very weird. Okay, but I'm gonna exit off of that. Let's get off the exit lane of this, David, because this is
let's not go down that rabbit hole. But I do got another thing that I sent you in live chat that I think would fit with CEOs up with. It's super funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to put that. We're at the end here. By the way, here's some nightmare. If Paris was occupied by the Allies for years and years, this is what it would look like. Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah. Do we really need more? Again, this is what we talked about before. Are we moving people or moving cars? We need to think about this, because
Oh.
this is, again, it's hyperbolic.
All right.
It really goes to say, is this the right solution? Is it? Think about it.
Like,
Oh, man.
go to the
Anyway.
live stream chat, or not the live stream chat, but the chat in here, because we just sent you something very funny about a CEO losing all his employees.
Yep. All right. That's. We're at the end here. By the way, guys, like, subscribe. Well, not you don't like and subscribe on Twitter. Follow me. Follow us on Twitter. I do have my own Twitter account, which I haven't gotten into, but I should get back into my own X. I guess X.
All
I'm
right.
calling it X now. X account. X marks the spot.
All right, I
I
sent.
should get back into my own X account, but here we are. Here's the club's X account. Follow us on here. Like our stuff. We're trying to get out there.
Oh, speaking of
All
that,
right, David.
go
I'll
to.
bring it up. Here we go. Let's see. Did you put it in the end, or where is it?
I did now put it in again on the ACR live stream chat.
Okay. Here we are. The New York CEO who had his Lamborghini pooped in by his employees after he canceled their Christmas bonuses. Come on, man. Has he ever watched The Christmas Vacation? That is pretty low. Has just learned that they have all resigned. Good.
Good.
I mean, look, you're lucky they just resigned, buddy. You're lucky that's all you get. Literally every employee from the sales staff to the shipping department emailed in their resignation. They should have sent it via Slack to their CEO at the same time. Good. Give him something to actually read in his inbox.
Mm-hmm.
What a piece of garbage. Look, again, it's not hate to CEOs. It's hate for being stepped on, for being taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
This is what people are angry about. Okay? People are not angry at the Costco CEO. Why? Because he runs a good business. Because the hot dogs and soda combo is still $150. People don't hate the Arizona CEO because you can still get, and I love Arizona iced tea. That's like one of my favorites since I was a kid. You can still get it for 99 cents at some gas stations. Now, there are some that don't do that, and you can go ahead and tell the company that, hey, they're not putting their 99-cent teas on here. Now, of course, there are some places where it's like $1.49 or something like that. And yeah, that's just what it is. But the ones that say 99 cents on, I mean, in 2024, okay, people like good leaders. So there's a concept called noblesse oblige, and I've been talking about good CEOs and the duties that somebody who has money and who has power has to the rest of the country and to the people. Okay. Noblesse oblige means that the nobles have obligation to go ahead and protect the people, okay? If you're king of a castle, I know people in the United States love to hate on monarchy, but that system has worked for thousands of years. Democracy, even the Greeks didn't really like democracy, and this country is technically supposed to be a constitutional republic. We're not operating as one right now, but anyway, let me finish this point. If you're a king of a castle, okay, and of a town, you have an obligation and a duty to go ahead and defend and protect those people. Whether they get attacked or whether they raise war, you have a duty. If you're collecting taxes or whatever it is, you're there to protect those people. Okay, that's just what you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of the people back then, like the Carnegies or like Flagler, they built something to leave a lasting legacy and to give back to the people. I would say probably one of the craziest stories, and I'll just end with this, and then we'll go into
inviting people in.
You guys want to get in here? Let's see. I know I've talked about Griffith Observatory a lot, but this is kind of crazy, the story. So the guy who made no, it's not Griffith on Berserk, but the guy who funded the Griffith Park and the Griffith Observatory was kind of a nutcase. Okay, like again, these people were not perfect at all. Okay. This guy would not be posting White Jack. He shot his wife. Okay, the guy was kind of nuts. He was kind of crazy. Look, known for philanthropy, assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, Griffith J. Griffith, what a name to have. Okay, it's not Broken Bam Broken. Okay, this guy makes Broken Bam Broken look like a little wuss. Okay, this again, the difference in the CEOs today Van Broken, who starts going around with an axe and letting off steam on his walls. Yes, a lot less violent than shooting your wife, which is pretty reprehensible. Okay, very reprehensible. Okay, definitely not condoning that at all. Okay, but I mean, look at this. After amassing a significant fortune from mining syndicate in the 1880s, Griffith donated 3,015 acres to the city of Los Angeles that became Griffith Park, and he bequeathed that money to build the park's Greek Theater, which, if you guys have seen it, is pretty cool, and the Griffith Observatory, which I love. I mean, if this is a fantastic place. If you guys are in the Los Angeles area or you live there, I mean, everybody knows the Griffith Observatory. Griffith's legacy was marred by his notorious shooting of his wife in 1903, a crime which he served 1 year and 9 months in prison. It's pretty nuts. I mean, look at this Wikipedia article. It goes from life, crime, later life. I mean, this is just nuts. But look at this. While vacationing in Santa Monica, Griffith shot his wife, Tina Mesmer Griffith, in the presidential suite of the Arcadia Hotel as she knelt on the floor performing. This is pretty nuts. This is what were those true crime episodes here? The shot didn't kill her, but left her disfigured, and she lost her right eye. Oh man, she ended up like a venom snake there. Griffith was charged with assault and a deadly weapon with intent to commit murder. And then look at this. It struck me, he was a teetotaler, or supposedly somebody who was not supposed to be drinking alcohol, was in fact a secret drunk who was subject to paranoid delusions. Okay? So again, yeah, these guys were hyperbolic, but I mean, the stuff that they left this country is just incredible. Okay? Let me see. Awarded custody to 16-year-old son. The court also stated that Griffith would pay for his son's education at Stanford University. The decree was made in a record time of 4.5 minutes. Justice was served pretty quickly back then. Okay, that's another difference. Okay, swift and timely justice is not a thing in this country anymore. Okay, which is why people kind of lash out. It's not good. You need to have justice in this country. But I mean, if you guys haven't seen the Griffith thing, it is absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. You've seen it in every movie that's in Los Angeles or anywhere. If you guys, Transformers probably the biggest one that we all remember, where they start landing in. It's just an absolutely beautiful thing. Look at this rotunda. Look at this. Okay, absolutely stunning, beautiful. We don't make beautiful things in this country anymore. We need to do that again. Okay, this is the type of stuff that the rich should be leaving for the nation of this country. Okay.
I think we need to do the baseball bat justice.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's a Christmas present. Griffith called it a Christmas present. After accepting the donation, the city passed an ordinance and named the property Griffith Park in honor of the donation. Okay? And he wanted for people to be able to see. Not that his wife is seeing the universe with half her vision, but the rest of Los Angeles and anybody who visits can be able to see the universe with, I mean, it's pretty bad, but I mean, come on. I mean, that's just Americans back then were something else, man. I mean, we need okay, not bring back shooting your wife, absolutely not.
Nope.
But let's bring back building beautiful stuff again. Can we do that again?
Not Brightline, but Dimitri, my company Walmart, to put themselves on the radar. Their CEO, our CEO, just effed up.
Okay, but anyway. All right. Okay, so I'm being told by the American Rail Club legal department. We have kind of a legal department here. Okay, they're working pro bono, but I have to disclaimer that the bat. Okay, we don't condone violence on this channel. The bat is meant. Disclaimer: it is meant as a humorous prop. This is humor. It is funny. It's under the First Amendment. We mean no harm to anybody. Okay, please. All right, I got that out of the way. Thank you to the ARC legal department for going ahead and doing this. Yes, we do have a legal department, guys. Look at how many people are in the audience. All right, so you guys know the drill. 5 minutes each. If you have your hand up, we'll be in. We'll go ahead and go on to the next person. But anyway, here we go. All these wonderful people here in the club. I love doing these things. These are funny.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, bud.
Yeah, let me just start the time so I don't go over as well.
You're good, man.
No, there's three things I'd like to say. To David's point earlier, you mentioned California high-speed rail, and a lot of it was corruption.
Yep.
You don't throw it all into corruption when part of it was definitely grift.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh man, it's just. I mean, it's just terrible. Like
Yeah.
I talked about many times. And again, speaking of California, okay, we talked about let's see, Griffith Observatory. They built this within. Let's see, construction started in 1933, inaugurated May 14th, 1935. 2 years, less than 2 years, a year and 9 months from construction to inauguration to build something that is still beautiful and still standing there. I mean, and they can't build a freaking high-speed rail system. It's not that they can't. It's that they won't. Let's start saying that they won't build it because they can. It could have been built already. They won't. Let's take it a step further.
Well, the money, it's there, but you have to have that political will, and, well, there's a lot of people that can grift off of it, and other people that want to have their grease palms, and, oh no, I can't approve of it because I won't be in office by the time that it's time to cut the ribbon, so I can't approve of it. Sorry, and we're going to have to wait until my predecessor starts construction, probably around the time I'm dead, before we can start. And by then, the system could have been paid off in full and making plenty of money. The second thing, when you were talking about the railroad besides the highway, you can go look on the Department of Transportation's website right now. Just choose your state, their Department of Transportation website. And you can go down into the numbers, and they all have very similar numbers. For a highway meeting the U.S. standards, it can move 1,800 vehicles per lane of highway per hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be the cars advocates' most favorable answer, that's 1.5 people per vehicle.
Exactly.
If you want to go to the transit side, it's probably closer to 1.1, but let's go to 1.5. That's 2,700 people per lane per hour. When you compare that to the trains, you're talking about needing anywhere from 8 to 12 lanes of traffic for every track you're laying down. So if you wanted 2 lanes of track so you can go both ways, that's anywhere from a 16 to 24 lane highway. Per direction.
And the kicker, you can move more stuff by train.
Amount of people per hour. You want to double the amount of people on those highways, you're going to have to double the amount of people in the cars. You want to double the amount of people on the trains, you connect 2 trains together, 3 trains together. It's not that difficult.
Look, and that's the thing. That's why you have 3,500 people on a subway in New York City, is because it can handle that amount of people per hour. And I mean, if you talk about other places around Europe, I mean, all those trains can easily carry 1,000 people each. The Shinkansen in Japan can carry 1,200 people more. I mean, you cannot beat the train in terms of capacity. There's no way.
And that only assumes that you're counting the amount of seats being taken up. And that's not including standing room only or having wheelchair users sit in the sections by themselves. It's like, you can easily more than double it.
That's
Last
fact.
thing I want to say before I run out of time, it can easily be addressed in the amount of time we have before fully automated cars come into being. Because they're like, if you talk to people working on it, you're still talking 15, 20 years out. Which, if you get rid of the overregulation, the unnecessarily large bureaucracy, and all the other issues at hand, you can build it out in 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Unsolicited financial advice for Google. Maybe instead of Waymo, maybe you should finance it, privatize, maybe buy off the California High-Speed Rail Authority and build it yourself. We'll be making more money.
And for the regional rails, the rails already exist. What are you going to do? Spend the money to bring the rails up to modern standards, double track it if it's not already, or even more so you don't have to share the rails with the freight lines, so they're not slowing you down.
Or
And then
bring
it's
back
oh,
double
do you
tracking.
want to spend the $3 to $5 million based on Brightline's number to electrify it? 3 to 5 million per mile. So yes, it's expensive, but the system pays itself off in a matter of months.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many. There's just so much more we could be doing. This. It's just nuts.
The whole regional rail system can be rebuilt in less than 5 years if we wanted, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm out of time, so I'll just have to go in the comment section from now.
No worries, man. I appreciate you always for coming on.
Okay,
Take care.
bye.
Alrighty. Just speaking of making this country great again, I just noticed that my favorite eggnog, Evan Williams eggnog, has yellow number 5 in it. I feel like RFK is gonna come behind me and hit me with a baseball bat. It's just that. Why does it even have it in there? I mean, the color it's not even yellow. Why is it even in there? It should be fine. It's eggnog. It does. Oh man. Contains milk and egg. Yeah, it should. Why do you need artificial coloring? Oh man, there's a lot we need to get done in this country. It really is.
Agree.
All right, dump trucker, you're on, man.
What's up, fellas?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. There's a few things I want to get to.
Floor's yours.
Did you hear about what happened on the Long Island Railroad?
I think I did. What was it?
A drunk driver on the train track?
Oh, that I forgot that.
I saw it on next. Yeah, it was just so much news, man. It's like this time. Okay, guys, I'm being serious. I did see that. Yeah, that's stuff. Let me see if I can find that. I know I had it saved somewhere. Oh man.
What are they getting drunk on over there?
Ethanol.
Oh man, but yeah, that's just nuts. Let me see, drunk driver. There we go. Come on.
I think they're drunk over their sports teams not being too well.
Yeah, it sucks to be a New York City fan of any sort. I mean, forget. It sucks being a Giants fan. I've been a Giants fan for years. It's like, at this point, you just expect disappointment. You're never disappointed. But hey, at least the Buffalo Bills are doing well. But it's not really New York City, but it's still a New York State thing. So we'll take that. Come on.
Oh, Joshua watched your video.
Here we go. LIRR drunk driver here.
Oh,
That's the LIRR
you have
driver.
2 videos
So,
out?
somebody needs to know that's what it's called. The
I'll
LIRR.
check the other one
Look at
later
this.
on.
Oh man, here you are. Accused drunk driver caught on camera barreling down LIRR tracks. This is just. Oh man. Okay, you guys ever seen what's the movie? Groundhog Day. Okay, I better not be hearing crickets in the comments. You guys have seen Groundhog Day.
I have.
I don't know if I've seen Groundhog Day.
Oh man, you guys have to see Groundhog Day. But yeah, look, that's the.
Noted, I'll watch Groundhog Day.
You gotta watch Groundhog Day on February. You watch Groundhog Day on Groundhog Day, but yeah, look at this. One way to beat traffic, an alleged drunk driver was arrested Monday, essentially on the El Devil, in a caught-on-camera joyride that ended with a vehicle burst into flames. Yeah, it's gonna do that with the amount of friction and
Oh, yeah.
coming out because you hit the undercarriage of the car. But oh man, what a nutter!
Dump truck. That looked crazy, wasn't it?
Oh,
It
man.
looked nuts on the video I saw, and I was like,
You don't go for it. No, boy. This is not a illegal migrant. Basilio Hidalgo of Brooklyn ended at the Belrose station, a distance that spans at least half a mile of track. Well, he didn't get too far. Has been charged with first-degree reckless endangerment, third-degree criminal trespassing, and driving while intoxicated. Yeah, but jail, no keys. Bye-bye. Never drive again. There you go. He wants to drive again. Take his hands and the baseball bat. Again, disclaimer. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yep.
well, if he wants to drive again, he needs to retake this test.
No, I don't think you should drive again. It's as simple as that. No, you've proven yourself out.
You don't need it in New York City anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything, you got everything.
You can take the LIRR now. You can take the train. You can take the train. There you go.
Oh wait,
Let's
I
get
think
around
he
the
got
train.
if he got trespassed, he probably got trespassed on the LIW, on the LIRR.
I hope he has legs and a bike. That's proud. He's gonna have the bike now.
He'll be a skinny man at the end of the day.
There you go. Hey, boost up your legs right there. But there you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what a crazy stuff that's happening, man.
Yeah.
New York never fails to entertain.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, you know what? We'll jump to the next one. RC, don't feel bad about yourself living in Miami. You're not a Philadelphia fan.
I can't stand a Philly man. I cannot.
At least you are in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's funny.
always a plus. At least I'm not living in Philly.
Philadelphia is the true shit show.
For those of you guys who do live in Philly, you are, but I hate the Eagles. Sorry, I hate them. I'm not sorry. I hate
They're
them.
a really rude fan base.
They are.
Just because you lost the Super Bowl does not mean you need to go protest it.
I mean, they beat Santa Claus up. They tear down their city. I mean, look, your team is winning. You're fine. You're going to the playoffs. Just chill. Brotherly love, really? City of brotherly love? Come on, give me a break.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't no city of brotherly
I
love.
mean, the point that their best citizen is a fictional boxer. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of
That is
them. You know?
so true.
This is the Philadelphia Slander Club now.
Oh, my
Oh.
goodness.
Oh, by the way, Val said hi.
Any last words before, we're keeping up 5 minutes here. I'm keeping on it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Electric trains are great. As much as we might hate Elon Musk about everything, there's some great things he's gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Let's see. Let's see what Doge does. That'll be interesting. I don't think it will get too far. Again, optimistic but cautious. When it comes to Doge, I think they're going to hit a lot more roadblocks than they really think they're going to hit. It's a nice idea. It's a nice sentiment, and I think there's a lot of ideas going to be pushed out there. But let's see. Let's when the rubber hits the road, let's see what it does. But anyway, Dump Trucker, thank you. And keep on
Yeah, have a night, Dump Trucker.
High speed rail, the money isn't there. You have the money isn't there anymore. So the guy that said the money's there, no, it's not. The money got thrown out the window and burned in the pot and burned in the trash can.
Man, it just sucks. I mean, they could have at least built something with the years and money that they did have. It's an absolute darn shame, and look, we support California having high-speed rail. We're just apprehensive at the very least about California High-Speed Rail Authority. But anyway, thank you, Dump Trucker, for coming on.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good
Yeah.
night.
You too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, keep on keeping on. Star Force 97. You're on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, buddy. I heard all that slander.
Man, hey, we're not slandering Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago, man. We're keeping it nice for you guys.
yeah, we are. Anyway, speaking of New York, I just got more news feed that New York just isn't catching a break. They just had a water main break in the Bronx, and it's causing major flooding.
Ooh!
New York doesn't fail to entertain, man. Oh,
Yeah.
good. It's like we said again, infrastructure needs a little bit of help. I mean, I don't think anybody else needs any more missile systems or anything else for quite a while until we get our own stuff together. How about that?
Yeah, agree.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe you guys can buy your own missile system. Sorry, we're not funding it anymore. Sorry, figure it out. Bye bye.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's honestly interesting, like, to see, like, you know how I've been, like, you know how because I think also, like, I also found out, like, in terms of for commuter rail, I've also heard that the Boston commuter rail is actually starting to increase their service frequency, and making obviously the trains become shorter, but they're increasing service frequency, which is a good thing, because, and it reminds me of when the Chicago L actually had 4 smaller trains, but with more. But the last time they had smaller trains, I think this was on the brown and orange lines, and the purple line too. They had they had like 4-car train sets mixed in with 8-car train sets, and nowadays, since the pandemic, it's all 8-car train sets. And it also goes to show you do have some like one of the things that's been plaguing the CTA as of late is still the lack of operators and lack of rail service in general. Like, they only started not too long ago hiring and training more operators just to try to get back to pre-pandemic levels, but it's been a long road ahead for the CTA, and I honestly feel like just one of the things that stuck in my mind was just the 4-car and 8-car train sets. At first I didn't understand why, but then I kind of started to realize, oh, this is because of service cuts. They're just lengthening the trains just so they're pulling more stuff around, but because of the smaller, but I feel like the bigger issue is still going to be the service frequency, because I feel like obviously capacity is going to be worse when you have less service frequency than when you have more. And I also just found out, this was kind of in my area. I live in Evanston, where the Purple Line mainly runs through, and just recently they started cutting down the trains from all 6 cars to some 4 cars mixed in, which I feel like gives me at least a little hope there is a little bit of increased service frequency.
Yeah, there just needs the CTA needs a lot of help. I wasn't too thrilled when I saw their new budgeting standards that they have out there. I mean, it's the same as usual, and that's usually the problem with a lot of these transit agencies, is that it's business as usual and not anything that's really pushing the bar upward and forward. That's the major issue. I understand that there's a lot of regulation in the way that's keeping any sort of big momentous changes to come into the forefront, but there needs to be some greater amount of leadership. I mean, even when you do have leadership, like what the MTA in New York had the former CEO of the Hong Kong MTR. What was it? Andy Byford, I believe that was his name.
Yeah, aka Train Daddy.
Amtrak. Sorry. Who was Andy Byford was Amtrak? Okay, I'm name of the guy at MTA, but yeah, he wanted to bring a whole bunch of ideas, but he was just stymied every single time by the amount of regulation within the United States. I mean, we're comparing to Hong Kong, which, I mean, now Hong Kong is owned by basically the Chinese government of mainland China, but I mean, still, the MTR runs, I believe, the Purple Line in London, and that's incredible what they've done there compared to the rest of the two. I mean, it's way far beyond in terms of technology and just yeah. I mean, it's the type of stuff. Look, you can't have a privatized service, and when they had somebody like that leadership acumen to be able to bring to that, I mean, the amount of experience that guy had to be able to bring to the MTA, he made some steps forward in modernizing it, but I mean, he could have got a heck of a lot more. Again, we have to get rid of a lot of these regulations that are holding back and shackling.
Oh yeah, did decimate them. Decimate them of what we need to do.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like obviously another problem with that is just basically, I mean, as I think you've said before, not just with transit agencies, but it's not just about, or at least someone on here said, it's not necessarily about like the funding, like, oh yeah, with California high-speed rail, it's the corruption and the lack of willingness to actually fix problems that I feel like is more so holding back these agencies. Like obviously, like, you can build, like, with how much, like, these agents, well, I don't know how much these transit agencies typically get, but, like, with the money that's being spent on transportation, a lot of these, like, can easily fund transit projects, and which makes me happy that one of the biggest accomplishments, probably the biggest accomplishment that the Biden administration managed to achieve was passing a bipartisan infrastructure law, which greatly improved a lot of mainly getting new vehicles, but also more infrastructure for better infrastructure for all of the for a lot of the transit around here, as well as not too long ago in the election, there was a huge transit bill that actually passed in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, we have to give
Oh,
credit
yeah,
where
that
credit's
for
due, the Biden
sure.
administration. We'll take the money for sure. Again, appreciate you, Star Force, for coming on. We're out of time. We got to keep moving on, but again,
Yep.
always appreciate you coming on.
Yep, thank you.
Not a problem. Okay. ACB. Let's get him on
All right.
board. Got the avatar of the best girl on.
Welcome
So-
on
so,
board.
anybody who's fans of Ray, go away.
Ava fans in the building. That's
There we go. What's up, man?
I gotta agree with you. Like, it's not so much funding as an issue. Okay, well, it's part of it, but it's mismanagement and the execution. Like, there is graft, and there's, of course, dealing in the background, which doesn't really benefit projects like California HSR. So much promise, but piss down the drain. And the thing with New York City with that substation exploding because of water, it shows that our infrastructure needs a lot of upkeep and modernization and just straight up replacement at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how the substation is. Because I'm very familiar with that area. I used to live in New York City myself, but I moved to Jersey back in 2019. But that's a whole different story for another time. There's that, and also, yes, okay, Brandon, thank you for the money, because we did need new vehicles for transit and rail systems, but just not, it didn't go far enough, or at least the huge amounts of money we sent overseas, we could have spent here.
Yeah.
Instead of
Mm-hmm.
laundering it.
And to
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Force's point that he mentioned, that again, we do have an idea of not for every single agency, but they do get a significant amount of money. The problem is they get nowhere near the amount of money that the other forms of transportation get, like roadways and airlines. They get it's close to about a 95% ratio. I mean, it's got a little better, a tiny bit better, but there's no way. Yeah, there needs to be a rebalance of the ratio of the amount of money that's given, because what we spent, I think, one year we spent about 150 or 250 billion dollars, an insane amount of money on roadways in just 1 year alone, and that's not including.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact figures. I know I talked about it in one of my videos, but an insane amount of figure. We're talking about in the hundreds of $billions, and that's just in federal money alone. We're not talking about all these
Oh.
doing have to be dragged
Yeah.
out. Exactly.
Let's not forget
And
that
all
it was
you're
so
doing
bad.
in certain
Oops, sorry.
areas is increasing demand.
Yeah, you're increasing induced demand. It's a band-aid on top of a broken system. It's a broken system. Sorry, you can't expect a roadway to induce mass transportation. It doesn't work. I mean, I see here in Indianapolis, they've built they love building these roundabouts. Fishers, Indiana, northeastern Indianapolis, the suburban area, and Carmel, which is a pretty nice place. They have gone head over heels of building roundabouts all over the place, to the point that there's the most amount of roundabouts anywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And roundabouts are great. The problem is, when you get past a certain amount of vehicles going on those roundabouts, it becomes total chaos and nobody can move.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
that's
problem.
true.
They're just building something
Really?
because it looks nice. And I get it. I love roundabouts. I love it when it gets wet, that I can go ahead and do donuts the whole entire way around. But the problem, turn off traffic control, put on the power, lay it down, and there you go. But the problem is, it's not fun when you're backed up about a mile in because you're waiting for everybody else to take the turn, and everybody's kind of a little bit when it comes to roundabouts. They all get confused and don't know how to drive. It's not a thing here that's common in the United States. So when people get to encounter the roundabout, it becomes a nightmare for everybody else around them. They're a liability for everybody that's driving in there, and that's the problem.
There's a couple of them here in New Jersey, but they're not
Zam
very
here in
common,
Charleston
like
too.
in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, look, it works. When it works, the problem is that there are certain places that not everything is going to be a one-size-fits-all. Roundabouts are great for lower capacity roads. They do not work for major intersections. That's the problem.
For thoroughfares, no, it doesn't.
Exactly.
And same thing with our rail infrastructure too. Like the Northeast Corridor itself. If we're talking about the backlog in terms of repairs and upkeep, about $90 or so billion. I forgot the exact figure, but I know it's in the tens of billions of dollars.
Let not forget that the government took money from the railroad and gave it to their competition, the car and the highways, for tax-free. Let not forget that.
Oh yeah, back in the 50s and 60s.
Let's not forget how many watched with my fiance. We rewatched that video of from Class to Crap, what happened to America's passenger railroads. And that was probably one of my better videos, and it definitely needs to re-up or something that can bring that back up again. But it's true, the amount of, it was just astonishing how much money, and we're talking about back in the billions of dollars, not adjusted for inflation, but back then, billions of dollars spent for roadways and airlines. You're picking on the winners and losers in a so-called free economy. How is that supposed to be a free economy when you're going ahead and you've already picked the winner?
Oh, I know.
That's a duopoly.
You,
That's not a free market.
It's all rigged. The game was rigged from the start. I mean, it's just nuts. But anyway, man, ACB, thank you for coming on board, man. Appreciate you. We appreciate all the Osaka fans out there. So,
like Dimitri.
Take care.
Take care, man.
Boy.
Dimitri, in the new year, you need to do an update on that video in the new year. That for sure.
Definitely. That's on the list for sure. We need to get that done. But yeah, there's just a lot that we're going to get done. We're going to push forward into it. I will say that we have an interview with a pretty high-profile person somewhere in a passenger rail line company in place, in a privatized passenger rail company at that. I'm just leaving you the hint. So the video's going to get done in January. It's going to be pretty good. I'm just letting you guys know for now. So we're moving stuff forward, moving the plane forward. We're going to start making the big videos, and we're going to be making American Rail Club great again. So that's on there.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Darius is on. He has priority because he conducted. So we'll bring him on. 5 minutes. Let's keep it to 5 minutes, and then we'll go to Brightline Fan and Adam Everywhere, and then we'll call it a night.
Oh, yeah. That for sure.
It's been a long one, guys, and wow, we're still pretty good there on YouTube. Wow. You guys are sticking along. Thank you for everybody in YouTube land out there for keeping on here. But anyway, all right, Darius, going once, going twice, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah! God lucky, man. God lucky. All right. What's up? And we're gonna be streaming when I get over there, man. We're definitely. What about at least 2 streams? I want 2 streams. We can do that, right?
Yep, like we're double live streaming right now.
Have you in France? Yeah, but that's the thing. If you go to Europe, yeah, that's in Europe. But I mean, we're talking about if you put them in New York to try there, they say it's complete chaos. Everything in and around. It's like film Taxi, driving out of best space films of all time. But European driver animal to the American. Okay, and American driver. It feels like accidents than your average American driver, but we're not talking about that. Okay, and entry level to entry driving in Europe way higher than it is in the United States, and for a reason. There's a reason why there are more manual transmissions sold in Europe than there are in the United States, and it's still, I think it's 46% of all cars. I read it, and that was maybe from a couple of years ago. They're all sold in Europe. They were all mission cars. It's a whole animal, and the reason that works is because it's been talking about close to 2 or more. Having that roundabout, they're used to it.
Transmissions actually don't simplify. It's like getting all that thing out of your head, focusing on driving.
The problem, one hand, and I do believe this is true. It takes away from automobile. It lowers the bar entry where you have people shift and don't stuff. They'll be to be on the something else. And I agree. I think that there should be a level of degree that people should vehicle operates. I remember reading one. What was that? Reading about like
I had a dream of using manual transmission, at least for now.
I know, but I'm talking about like I think it was China where they had. And I don't know how true it was, but I read it in a somewhere. China, they have a
with automatic transmission. You always have
I know, man.
on the wheel.
Again, but another very strict way. It's different because the whole and way to move is all based on the auto. Basically, give is out here like candy, and they let people drive. I don't even have license. You know how many ratio of people in that don't have license or insurance? I think it's half of the driving population have insurance, and 30% driving without a license.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty insane. A judge that used to
Are
shadow
going away their cars.
Justice Center. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, you were saying, man?
Going away their cars. That's what happened in California.
Here comes the repo man.
Low.
Yeah, they're decent. Again,
Build extra rail, although how slim it might be, except when passing along, it might, if a service station there for a high-speed rail in rural towns or hick towns might obviously be disturbing for land use.
okay, yeah, nobody's
Mentioning
talking about
environmental impact.
Again,
So that's why buses and cars would always be supreme in these remote areas.
Yeah, look,
Oh,
there's
There's wildlife.
again, not everything is a nail and not everything. Okay, cars work where they work, trains work where they work, and buses work where they work, airlines work where they work. Okay, there's absolutely a reason and a place to have everything that works. Nobody is saying to go ahead and build a New York subway system in the middle of South Dakota. That's crazy. Nobody's talking about that.
Agreed.
We're talking about at least having some passenger service for some of the bigger towns and areas, at least to pass by at least once or twice a day. That's at least fair. But anyway, man, if anything last.
Bus companies actually need to diversify besides just Greyhound.
But Greyhound is
Agreed.
going. There's other bus companies that have come up the last several years. But anyway, any news on the drones? Last thing, any news on the Jersey? So I know we were talking about it last night.
No, but I've actually took my drone out.
Oh, you have a drone?
You gave me that drone for free keys about a couple of years back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I remember giving you that. Yeah.
But it's a Federlite drone that you gave me. Basic Federlite drone.
Heartless fiend with the timeless meme. With a car, you can go anywhere.
Where you want.
Anywhere you want, man.
Alrighty, man.
You can actually literally do that. Speaking of drones, you can actually literally do that on an eVTOL vehicle, which is literally a man drone, a man quadricopter drone.
Yeah, I think that's gonna fall. We're talking about.
Oh, you heard that, Val?
Basically, at that rate. I think that's gonna be.
Sausage roll.
They've been talking about flying cars and vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for such a long time, and they've made prototypes here and there. It's not going to catch on to the way people think it is. Sorry, it's just what it is. It's not going to.
But it seems to be cheaper to produce than a standard
Say-
helicopter,
Wait until he gets done and you get to
or
say
even a
something
mosquito
to
helicopter.
Yeah,
Demetrius.
I mean, it'll be something like, remember the movie, that Bugatti spaceship car, whatever the guy was using that got blown off. That was a. I mean, that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be something for the very ultra rich to be able to use. It's not going to be something that's going to be. I don't think so. I know there's like a couple like Saudi or Dubai companies that are busting a whole bunch of billions of dollars into eVTOLs for the last several years. But I mean, those people can throw billions of dollars away into something like what was the city that they were building with all the electric little pod cars? What was it called in
I
Dubai?
love sausage roll.
The line.
What that?
The line.
That Carless City.
Sausage roll.
Yeah, it was like some carless city, and now they have the shard or whatever that's going off, like this 30-mile.
It called a line. It called a line.
Just weird projects, man.
I thought that would be still thriving a bit.
I mean, I haven't seen anything, but anyway, man. All right, Darius, appreciate you coming on. See you next week, man.
All
Yeah,
right,
see you
so we're
next
gonna
week.
be broadcasting here next week.
Oh yeah,
Broadcasting here next
we'll be broadcasting live from Miami. We will.
All right.
We'll be coming
Looking
back.
forward with you in
Absolutely, man.
warm weather there.
Absolutely.
Warm
All right.
weather here.
Take care, man. Stay safe.
Same to you.
All righty. Okay, last two. Brightline fan, Adam Everywhere, and
Oh, crap. All right. Dimitri, can you hear me?
Going right over here in my end. How about you?
we're doing good. We're doing good.
Oh, sorry about that guy. My
I was
Discord
really
crashed.
excited to say about something about California High Speed Rail.
Day Day.
Listen,
Song.
How much more have we said on it?
Day Day.
they had the funding and they blew it. Okay, they just blew it. I'm really disappointed.
I mean, hey, look. Just because California High Speed Rail Authority is not happening doesn't mean that California won't have high speed rail, because luckily a Floridian company is coming to the rescue. You're welcome. We're welcome. We'll bring some bottled waters for you guys as
Yes, sir.
okay. We'll make sure that you don't thirst out and die of thirst. Okay, so don't worry.
Okay, David.
Well, I think.
me.
At least we won't. At least we will have high speed rail.
Oh,
Either way.
There we
Okay.
go.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess this California High Speed Rail talk was
Song Sausage
just
Train.
basically
Sausage World.
vaporware at this point. Well, it's not vaporware technically, not like Hyperloop.
I mean, they have concrete.
ah, crap.
Shit.
Rail concrete.
Yeah, high speed
Oh.
concrete. Yeah.
Mm.
David Mitchell went off.
Yeah, we'll bring him on. We need to have a. We need to have a whole live stream just.
Sorry about that
dedicated to
guy.
California
My
High Speed
Discord
Rail.
crashed again. It crashed.
What's up, David?
Hey,
This is
hey, bud.
My old friend
excuse
David
me.
Mitchell here.
There
Oh,
we go.
hey, speaking of that, Val wanted to say something.
Microsoft got you again.
Not so train related, but it's me. It's Vel. I'm using David's
Hey, Val,
account.
how you doing?
I have a song for you. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, Christmas
All right, ready.
train, oh, Christmas train, you're beautiful. The numbers are, in fact, they're threatened that this train is for keeps. This sausage train is for keeps, just like this Christmas train. Oh, Christmas train. Oh, Christmas train, we'll keep the Christmas train running here.
There we go, David. Your wife.
Oh, Val used to sing opera back in the Philippines. No joke.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
Yep.
Christmas Train. I like Christmas Train.
No joke, she
Yeah,
used to
I'm not
sing
joking,
opera
though.
back in the Philippines, and she posts that up on her YouTube channel.
All right, yeah, we'll have to post that up on here for everybody to see. That's great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but
Alrighty.
I'm it's not. I'm
Alright.
using David's account. Sorry about that.
Okay. Brightline fan, you will get some time back. Don't worry.
Sorry about that, bud.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
All right. Yeah. What's going on with the state government of California is so disappointing.
It really
It's really
is.
disappointing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing from our side here. It's not that we, of course, we want California to have high-speed rail. It makes perfect sense to have it there. It's just terrible what the authority has done in the last since its inception. I mean, this is something that should have been already done before the turn of the decade.
Oh yeah, it should have been done.
and ready to go.
Should have been done
And
about 30
that's
years
what-
ago.
That's what voters voted for. They voted for it to be done between Los Angeles and San Francisco before, what was it? I gotta look up the actual proposition.
2018. They wanted it done before
Here's the funny
2018.
thing. Here's the funny thing. All those counties that this massive concrete runs into voted red. They all voted red.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. So, 2008 statewide ballot. Let me see if I can. Oh, come on. Here we go. Proposition 1A specified several corridors. Here we go. Let me just put it over here so we can all look at this. Over here. There we go. All righty. This was backed by when Governor Jerry Brown was in his first term back in the 70s. High-speed rail was first proposed in 1979. In 82, Brown signed a bill authorizing $1.25 billion in bonds. Fast forward to 2008, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger championed a ballot measure, 1A, authorized again. There you go, Republican governor. Even though he's not really, he's kind of more of a rhino. But anyway, Proposition 1A, which authorizes. That's what happens. It's too much steroids in the brain. It messes you up. Sorry, Arnold. We love you, but you're not all there, man. Sorry. Which authorized $9 billion in bonds. This is the best thing he did to begin the planning and construction for high-speed rail. But further, $950 billion to upgrade commuter rail systems. All right. So, including Prop 1A, the project has received about $23 billion through the end of 2023. So, you've already had $23 billion, and this is what you have. This is it.
Yeah.
A concrete viaduct.
Like,
All those taxpayer money wasted over a viaduct.
And it's not fair for the Californians that voted for this.
yeah, not even
They
fair.
wanted to build- Yeah, not for Newsom to go ahead and say, well, we're going to leave it in the valley. No, they wanted it all the way from San Diego all the way to San Francisco.
Oh,
That's what the
I
voters
forgot.
voted for. So, hey, democracy, right? Do what the voters asked for.
Oh, I
Here's the
forgot
thing
to
about-
bring that up.
Here's the thing about democracy. Okay, here's the thing about democracy. What the media says about democracy, they don't really mean democracy. It's democracy in their way, not democracy in our way.
It's just
Mhm.
oh, here's what's funny now on the Wikipedia page. It can't get away from it now. So they have the phase 1, phase 2, and they have Brightline West. That's just there in bright yellow, Las Vegas all the way to Rancho Cucamonga. That is hilarious.
It is.
So yeah. Oh man, in their own Wikipedia article, it's come on, you guys. It's time to figure. I mean, forget figuring yourself out. I mean, you've had years to figure yourself out. You've had $23 billion, and we're not getting anywhere. It's time to. Somebody else has to pick up the torch for California high-speed rail. It shouldn't stop. I don't think it should stop. This is absolutely needed in California.
Yeah, I agree.
Either
Mhm.
maybe change up the entire company, maybe keep a couple of people who are actually good and who actually do believe and want this project to be done, or move them to another company or authority or something else. But this needs to be folded and sent off to either a private company or something else. It needs to go. Or somebody needs to be put in charge immediately and get this done within a timely manner.
Oh, I
Have a
agree.
set date. Let's forget 2028 because this way. Let's say 2030 between San Francisco to Los Angeles. You got it done. You got 5 years. Do it. Get it done. You had 4 years. They were able to build in more than 100 years ago the LA Aqueduct. You can build high-speed rail in 5. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah, you can actually build a rail.
Agree.
You can build a rail project in 2. Listen, Seth and Migo had it figured all out. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look at what China did. I mean, please. Speaking of justice, I mean, the guy who was I was just talking about this today with Catherine and her mom. The guy who was in charge of the Chinese railway system, the one that had the high-speed rail accident, he was convicted and sentenced to death for the accident and for embezzling money. Could you imagine this in the United States, having something like that? I mean, look, for all that we hate on China and communism sucks, but I mean, wow. Okay, that's some justice there. I mean, how many? 147 people or something like that died during that accident. Yeah, somebody should go to jail or get the axe. So I mean, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And here my thing, I'm gonna bring that up. Like, if we have laws like that against big corporation here in the U.S., a lot of them will straighten up real fast because either you stop being greedy.
There needs to be justice. There needs to be something.
Okay, about Trump. Oh, jeez, these Democrats.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, I hate to talk about politics right now and partisan politics and partisan bickering. Can we just stop, Democrats? Can we just stop? I'm tired of this crap. Okay.
They don't care.
I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to stop.
Yeah, they're not going to attend Trump's inauguration address.
Okay.
Inauguration.
All right, free tickets for any other Trump fans that want to go over there. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved. I mean, look, hey, if they want to keep doing, just well, I mean, funding is one thing. I mean, it's getting it done. Hey, Democrats, you're in charge of California. Where's your train? Why is it taking a red state, a company from a red state, to go ahead and build it in your state? What's going on there? Okay, come on. Please.
Yeah. There's only one Democrat that is going to attend the Trump inauguration, and it's Senator Fetterman from Pennsylvania.
The Eagles. Speaking of Fetterman, oh man, he's just. I don't know what to think of the guy sometimes. Speaking of somebody that has a.
I know, I got working money too.
I mean, it's just sometimes you just gotta love the guy. It's like he's hilarious. Oh man. But anyway, alrighty, Brightline fan, thank you so much.
You have a good night, bud.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Alright,
have a nice day.
Alright, we got our last person about to come in.
Alrighty.
Oh, my Little Pony guy?
Okay,
No, Alan
guys,
something.
It's been a night.
Summers?
Oh yeah.
Our last one here. Here we go. Adam everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring him on board.
Adam, you there? There you are.
Oh, the My Little Pony fan.
Ooh.
You're a little too low, man.
Yeah, it's a little too muffled.
On your mic? A little better, but
Still muffled. Still muffled.
Muffled. I could tell too.
Okay, understandable. Go ahead, man. We're listening.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. I mean, we're having a good time here. It's the Christmas season. Can't complain.
Yeah, it's holiday season. It's getting busy about this hour. It's getting busy even towards New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the traffic's gonna be like, but after this season, it's gonna be pretty hard. Just get tickets. Just go anywhere in the Amtrak.
Yeah, I know Amtrak usually runs some sort of promotions during the.
I'm pretty get deals anyway, but
Yeah. Alright.
Well, you gotta book it way in advance.
Yeah. Alright, it's kind of. Let's go ahead and let's go. The
Mm-hmm.
doing on right now. There we go. Instead of talking about it, let's actually do it. Okay, where we.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Alrighty. Hey, students save 15% if you still have your EDU. FIU just killed it for alumni, so I don't have my EDU address anymore. There you go, students 17 to 24, never mind. Sorry, it's ageist on Amtrak. Save 15% on top destinations across America. Okay, well, there you go. All right, Discover America, travel on a private room. Let's go. So we're talking about, let's talk about, let's see, New York. I know we did this before, to DC.
You just noted that today? I did that last night.
You did that when you like dancing.
And let's go. Let's get in time for Christmas. Let's be home for Christmas.
It's
there
the
we go.
most wonderful sleepy.
Actually, let me put Washington D.C. to New York. There we go. There you go. We're going to New York. I don't want to stay in D.C. I don't want to be in D.C. for Christmas. Let's go to New York. There we go. Alrighty. There you go. Acela. Departs at 5 a.m. 2 hours and 48 minutes. 7:48 a.m.
Sorry
there we
guys,
go.
David's so high
Business
today.
from 83, first class for 3 or 4. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. You know what's crazy is that the
I'm a
regional,
slow lover, but I
for
have
another
to try
extra
it.
hour, you can pay another $100 to go on business class on the Northeast Regional to leave 5 minutes earlier and to arrive there almost 30 minutes later. It's quite a deal, guys. Quite a deal. There you go. There you are. Acela, 6 o'clock. See, this is the thing. Look at how it's every hour on the hour. The turnover right over here. 5 a.m. Sorry, not turnover. Oh man, I forgot the term. Shoot, it's late. It's late, guys. There we go. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Headroom. There we go. Headroom. Right, hour headrooms. There you go. That's what you have to have. Look, 7 a.m. There you go. 9:30 a.m. And you have. Look at how many trains are leaving out of DC station. So look, we still have a fair amount of trains still coming out of the Northeast Corridor. So it's still there. It hasn't really left the Northeast Corridor, no matter what's happened. Look, it can be a heck of a lot better. I mean, Acela could get from DC to this could be cut into maybe 90 minutes. That can happen.
Yeah, like it could be cut in 90 minutes from New York to DC to 90 minutes. That for sure.
Yeah, let's say an hour and 45 minutes. Let's be fair. We can cut an hour out if we were actually able to upgrade the system. But yeah, there you go. Okay. Again, prices. I don't know why the Vermonter costs $298. I mean, just wait. An hour and a half, or get there a little bit early, and there you go, business class. There you go. So these are pretty fair prices. There you go. So you can be home for Christmas. There we go. Okay. So there we go, guys. Okay, the prices are actually pretty good for the Acela.
Season, it's not really that bad. Just the Acela is going to be expensive.
Yeah. Right now, we're finding the Acela is actually cheaper than the Northeast Regionals.
And what?
Yeah.
That's
for a good
crazy.
price. Let's see. For 10:30 a.m., you can go on business class on the Acela for $83.
8?
Or 5 minutes later, you can go on Northeast Regional and pay $220. Coach is $138. So it's a little weird. Why? What is this, Amtrak? What's going on here? That's a little weird.
I guess it depends what train it is.
10 minutes.
But alrighty, man. Okay. Anything else you wanted to talk about, or?
Moving nothing much. Just the picture log. Still working on the Porter Bridge from Boston Hackensack River, but it's still a work in progress.
I'm sorry, what?
The Porter Bridge at Boston Hackensack River between Newark. That's still going on.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be awesome when it does finish.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll start to see those times start to decrease after that. I mean, that's a good. We can probably save a good 4 minutes off of that. That's an estimate, but.
Oh yeah, bad estimate.
I'm pretty sure once all the upgrades that they've been trying to do for the Hudson Portal are complete, I'm pretty sure we'll be cutting a good 15 to 30 minutes off of that time for sure.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, Adam Everywhere, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Alan.
Enjoy your Christmas
Happy
tree.
holidays, everybody.
Good night. God bless. Alrighty. Okay, guys, we are at the end here. We've reached the end of our journey here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all for writing on this episode here, this live stream of the ARC stream on the American Rail Club. David, you want to put in the last words?
Please like and subscribe. I hope everybody have a Merry Christmas, and we have arrived at the station. Have a Merry Christmas,
Thank you
everyone.
for everybody out on YouTube land.
and peace out.
Do watch Groundhog Day when it comes in. But first, the Christmas movies first, and then we can Groundhog Day on February 2nd. But anyway, guys, we will see you all very soon. Thank you for writing. Godspeed, and good night.
Bye-bye, guys. Have a nice night.